Hey friends, and welcome back to the channel. I am Cher, and today is going to be a Colourpop kind of day. I am going to attempt to rank all of my eyeshadow palettes from Colourpop in order from least favorite to favorite. We're going to see if it can be accomplished. It's always fun to try to do rankings. Now, I actually bring you guys a monthly eyeshadow rankings video. I take all of the eyeshadows I've used for the month and I attempt to rank them, and it's a really neat challenge that has helped me use all my palettes, make use of them, and come up with some really creative looks and just stretch myself when I wouldn't normally have done so. And so I've really gotten into eyeshadow palette rankings, and I've been wanting to do this for a while with my Colourpop collection. I have amassed quite the collection, especially through a lot of the mystery boxes, mystery palette bundles, all of that. And I realize how much I actually really love Colourpop, because they're, first of all, such a great price point, but for the value of what you're getting. I know there's a lot of other Colourpop lovers out there, so I figured you guys might enjoy this too. We might have completely different rankings. You might completely disagree with me, but I'm gonna attempt it today and we can talk about it. So if that interests you, stick around and we are gonna dive right on it. Now, you may notice in my monthly rankings videos that my opinions change monthly. Sometimes things that were rated at the top end up at the bottom the next month. So you may see things that I've ranked higher within the Colourpop collection than you see here. And sometimes it's just based on how I'm feeling that month and what the season is and all of that. But I'm going to try to rank all of these according to timeless, just overall ones that have just been my favorites from using them. So we're going to go ahead and dive in. So I actually have 20 eyeshadow palettes I'm going to rank today. One of those eyeshadow palettes I've actually already decluttered, and I normally don't really declutter my Colourpop ones, but it's one that got shattered a while back. I'm still going to mention it because I really enjoyed that palette. I really liked it. So I'm going to put a picture of it here for you and still include it in this rankings, even though I no longer own it. I do have another one that's recently gotten shattered too. That's one thing I talk about sometimes. Is my only true negative about Colourpop is it's so easy to shatter their palettes. They either come damaged and broken. Most of my shattered palettes have all come from Colourpop. Or when I'm literally holding it up in front of the camera, pans fall out and shatter everywhere. And I've had this happen on camera twice. You guys may have seen it. So I'm gonna be very careful how I'm holding everything today, by the way. So anyway, I will have one that I own that's shattered and another one that's already decluttered that's shattered. But overall, we've got 20 palettes. And I'm also going to try, guys, to put pictures in here for you, include all of the looks that I've made with these different palettes to give you ideas of how they actually look on the eyes as much as I can. There may be some that I haven't worn as recently and that I don't have pictures for, but all the ones that I still have pictures for that I have included in past monthly rankings videos, I'll try to include those today. I love to do that for you so you can kind of get a feel for the color story and how it really actually looks on, not just in the pan. So we're going to start at number 20, least favorite, and work our way all the way up to number 1, that is favorite. So we are going to start off with this little 5 pan. And a lot of my 5 pans came from a mystery bundle, I think. I don't remember. Maybe it was a mystery box or a mystery bundle. Anyway, I ended up with a whole bunch of 5 pans. And so this is one of them. This is the Flyaway palette. I still have use for it. It reminds me very much of Tinkerbell. You know, it might be based on Tinkerbell. I can't remember. Yeah, Twirl, Hover, Astrolands, Worldly, Aviator. It has that theme, doesn't it? And it's pretty and I like it and I have use, and I love when these are bite size and travel friendly. I'm just not a green girl. I don't do a lot of green eyeshadow. Another 5 pan, this one is Over the Cocoon. Again, I think I got it in one of the boxes. And I know it looks so pretty and y'all would think that this would be a favorite because of the colors, but I think I'm just not that into these garnety jewel tones anymore that much. I know they're so popular and a lot of my audience loves them. And when I do wear these colors, I get so many compliments. Everybody loves like the berries on me, and I just don't love the berries on me. I'm just not drawn to them. I don't know why. So anyway, it's just more the color story. Yeah, but it's very pretty. It has its place. Once again, I just never reach for it in what shades I want to wear. A lot of these 5 pans are at the very bottom here. So you'll notice that. I don't know why. And maybe it's because there's more colors in the other ones, so there's more options. So maybe the 5 pans are my least favorite for that reason, is just less options in them. So the next one is Olive Flutter. Again, another 5 pan, similar color story. These lean more warm tones, kind of peachier. And I do like these better, and I will wear it. It's just, again, I don't reach for it that much because there are a lot of these shades in other palettes that I have that are bigger and more options, I think. So I just kind of forget about it. And so it doesn't stand out to me, I think. Next is a quad. This is Down to Earth. You guys will see this in like every video these days, every rankings especially. And it's because I've been using it a lot for just making an eyeliner. Like I have it as my wing today. So usually if I don't do a liquid liner as a wing, I just take some dark eyeshadow from this little palette. It's so convenient. It's right here at my vanity. And so this is so functional for me. I use it like every day almost as my eyeliner. Being 40 plus, you know, I'm 46. I don't do a lot of like big, bold, like liquid liners that much. I have a couple that I really love that are my tried and true I'll use. But in general, I tend to use like a dark eyeshadow. I prefer like a dry formula like that. And I prefer being able to like blend it out for like under the eyes to more kind of soften them up. So this is what I use all the time. So it's kind of boring though. So it's not at the top and super favorite, but it's so functional for me. And when I do make an actual eyeshadow look out of this, I like it. It makes a standard smoky look. So I like it. It's just still probably towards the bottom. And then another 5 pan. This one is called Social Butterfly, and it's a lot of blues. And I do really like this. Like I do actually reach for it with blues. So of the 5 pans, this is one of my favorites. And you know, when I want to wear blue eyeshadow, I don't wear blue eyeshadow that often, but when I do, it definitely pops, you know, with my eye color and all of that. And so this is probably one of my top 5 pans, I think. Okay, and then we have another 5 pan. This is called Color Vision. And I think this is another one that my friend Mela gave me. So I really like it. This is probably my favorite of the 5 pans. And the reason is because most of it's all very standard, neutral, everyday colors. And it's not that I don't like to wear colorful makeup a lot of times. And I'm kind of like, okay, if you're a Colourpop person, you're probably a colorful makeup person. So this is probably so boring to you other than the pink. And I'm backwards that I love like everyday looks I can wear on a reliable formula at an affordable price. And so I am very drawn to these shades. And especially if you give me a not smoking, but a really awesome fire shimmer. And that's what this one is right here. And then if you give me a pink, because I love pink, pink's my favorite color. So if you put a little pop of pink to have as an option to accent with some neutrals and an awesome shimmer, you have the perfect formula for me. So this is actually my favorite because it's so wearable for me personally, but I can see why everybody else would be like, that was your favorite of the 5 pans? What? Right, then moving on to other non-5 pans that are a little higher up from the 5 pans because there's just more color options in them. So the next one is So Very Lovely, and this is, I think, this is actually a 12 pan. So we're moving up. And it's so pretty, it really is. I think it's I think this is great for like the springtime. I don't wear like a ton of pastels. I mean, obviously I have on pastels right now, and I'll tell you what this one is in a moment. But like in general, I don't always reach for pastels as much in the cool tones, but I will wear them at springtime. Like I think it's so pretty for spring. And what I would reach for with this right now in my everyday would probably be more of these neutrals out of it because that shimmer right there is so pretty. I love like metallics. So I love that look that that's giving, is that like kind of grungy metallic right there is probably my favorite shade out of here. And I also really love that one too, like a bronzy one. So it's funny because my favorite shades in this are not the pretty pastel ones that everybody else would probably reach for. And then a little bit above that is the lemon cello. I don't wear this one very often because I don't wear a lot of like yellows, greens, there's a little blue. I think this is what makes this one stand out, but there are enough like wearable shades in here too. Like I could wear any of these any day and travel with it, but it does have this fun, it's based on like Italy, like Capri or something. I can't remember what, you know, it's limoncello, so it's definitely got that like, you know, the Italian coast theme going on. And so if I am in that mood for like that little pop of yellow, so I really like it. So it's kind of a little higher up because it's kind of a little more unique, but it's not necessarily always colors I gravitate towards all the time. Now we're moving to a lot of 9 pans here. We've definitely gotten a lot of these from mystery boxes. So the next one is the UHA Honey. I hardly ever wear yellow, but I will say this isn't straight up yellow. Like there's a way to kind of make it like a really poppin' gold. And to be honest with you, I think I'm going to try to compare this to the Natasha Denona Golden palette. Not entirely the same because you got a lot more like bright yellows in here, but I think there's a few shades that could give you a similar look as to like at least one of the looks I did with that golden palette. So this has made me rank this a little higher because I love the golden palette. And so I'm like, the fact that I can do something with like a gold look really ranks this high for me. And so while I'm not going to wear a whole lot of like bright yellow, I am a fan of this for that reason, for the golden look. And then this one actually really surprised me that I ended up liking it so much. I really thought this would rank at like the very bottom. This is the Orange You Glad, another one in a mystery box. And I just like, I was like, I'm not gonna wear orange. Like orange is not gonna be what I'm rocking. So I was thinking it'll have its place, but it's not gonna be a favorite. But when I tried it on and I actually created a look, I ended up loving it because I felt like it actually looked pretty good. I liked how I looked in it, and you can almost tone it down a little bit and make it wearable. And I have found that with me, something about my skin type and the colors I'm just especially wanting to wear here in the summer, like tend towards the orangey or like peachy or just that warmer shades these days. I just feel like they're looking better on me. Maybe it's the outfits I wear more. So I ended up really liking this, and I mean, it's not ranking at the very top, but it's ranking a lot higher than I expected to be ranking it. Okay, here is the palette that got shattered, and you may have seen it when I did my this last mystery bundle. So this was the Miss Bliss, and one of my favorite colors is actually what got shattered, and it's always the shimmers, you know. This is so pretty. Now, I feel like what really made it so pretty was when I swatched it. It looks gorgeous in the swatches. It's like these bubblegum, like fun, I don't know, like these just pastel summer colors that were swatching on the arms. They were beautiful. They were stunning. But when I put them on my eyes, it wasn't as exciting as it was on the swatches. So I ranked the palette just a little bit lower because of that, but it still is really pretty and fun, especially when you actually have that color in it. But I'm going to pretend like that color's still there as part of my rankings because I have gotten to play with this with that shade in there. And we're just going to pretend this didn't happen. I'm probably going to end up, you know, if I can't get this replaced, I will probably just declutter it because I can't stand having broken palettes and stuff falling out. I just recently got this one. This is the In the Trance. This is what I'm wearing on my eyes today. Is that not gorgeous? Look at these little sparkles. Look at that. So this is one that I just recently got, and we're getting down to where it is so hard to rank these. We're getting to my top ones, guys. And so this was definitely a hit. I love it. Look at these beautiful pastel, like, these colors are just so pretty, but they are pastels. And I They're gorgeous and I love them, but I just, like I said, I don't wear pastels all the time. I know a lot of folks love to wear pastels. It's just not what I wear every day. So it's probably these really pastel-y ones are not gonna be at my very top, but it's just beautiful. And of course that middle one right there is what's creating these little sparkles. You can build them up to really intense because it's kind of more of like a pressed glitter in there, or you can just like kind of put them over the top and make them just sparkle a little bit over the top, like a translucent sparkle. And that's kind of how I'm wearing it today. And yeah, I love this. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. And one of you guys out there told me these did come out at the same time. This is still part of kind of the same collection. And then there's a third one too. And I don't think I have the third one. Okay, and then the Baby Got Peach. I did get a duplicate of this in this last mystery bundle, but I like this one too because this one is, again, pretty wearable for me. These are almost like everyday wear colors other than the pop of party here. But these are just, like, these are all shades I wear all the time. Like, these are almost neutral for me, or just warmer leaning, like light, you know, subtle colors, but that are complementary on me. So I think I do tend to wear a lot of the peaches and stuff like this. But then I can add in this fun right here, which again is that same idea of the really pressed glitter, and it really pops. But you can make it a lot more wearable if you don't do the sparkles too. So I do rank this pretty high because of the wearability. Okay, and then at this point is where I'm gonna put in my decluttered palette, the one that I did get rid of because it was shattered, only because it was shattered because I loved it, and that is the Sweet Talk. So I love the Sweet Talk. It's very similar to the Baby Got Peach because it's all those like peachy leaning shades. And there was some pinks and there was some peaches in it. So, and I used to wear it all the time. It was very wearable. This was one of my favorites as kind of a soft, like warm, peachy leaning palette. And so I was really bummed that it got shattered too. So again, that's the only reason it's not in my collection, but it ranks pretty high. All right, this is one I was so not expecting to love so much. This is Main Squeeze, and it is like all reds, but it's definitely that feeling of like juicy fruit gum coming right out of the packages. And I just was like, okay, well, let me try it. I did not expect to love it because I don't wear a lot of reds. And this has like reds and stuff in it. But man, let me tell you, when I put it on my eyes, there was just something about it. The pigment in it, maybe, in the blend. It's not your typical, some reds are just too like dry and they get patchy and chalky and they don't work. But this formula in this just worked so well on my eyes. I don't know what it was. And then with some eyeliner, like they really popped on me. And I loved how I looked at them. I felt very like va-va-voom and on fire in them. So I ended up loving this. And I actually ended up loving this more than even like my Natasha Denona Sunrise palette that has some similar, a little bit of similar colors, like some reds and a yellow. Like I would reach for this palette over that Natasha Denona one. Isn't that crazy? This is coming in at number 6, guys. So this is like at the very top. Oh my goodness. I never would have expected that when I first looked at the formula. You know, like sometimes they really surprise you. You think that you're not going to like a formula, and when you try it on, you're like, okay, pazam. So now we're getting into my top 5. So coming in at number 5 is Wild Child. And this is another one that I loved how it looked. I loved the blend on it and like the formula of these shimmers in here. And even though like I don't wear a lot of I don't usually do like a carbon smoky or like full blown like smokies all the time. They kind of have their place, but I actually really love the look of this with the shimmers in it. They make a perfect like metallic finish on the lids. It almost reminds me of like a penny. That's the best way, you know, like a penny, like a coin. Like I feel like I'm wearing a penny on my eyes. I love the shimmer on these. And so, and it's going to be amazing in the fall. This is going to be one of my favorites I'm going to be rocking, guys. So, but it almost has like a bronzed, I don't want to say it's an everyday look, but it's not like a crazy wild colorful look, but it's just enough to really feel dressed up too. So love this one. And this came in a mystery palette bundle also. Okay, coming in at number 4, Dream Street palette. It's a collab with Kathleen Lights. I don't think this is available anymore. This was my first Colourpop palette, I think. I absolutely love it. And I think it's just these like, these everyday shades again, bronzy, not really peach, but just that they're warm leaning. Again, I think of pennies a little bit with this. But I love how they look on my eyes. They're just the colors that I wear a lot, and the shimmers really pop, and love the formula in them. But occasionally I might wear these like around the holidays. Like this is my one of my holiday palettes. It's perfect at New Year's and like the holiday seasons. So I've always brought it out for that, and I still just love it till this day. It's like kind of my classic, and I think it's sentimental because it was my first Colourpop. So still love this one. Number 4, and we're getting down to the absolute babies. I was really struggling to figure out what was favorite. All right, next is that Lilac You A Lot palette. So this is like all lilac, you know, purple, soft lavender shades. And even though I don't always wear a lot of pastels, when I do, I love lavenders. And I'm trying not to open these too far because this is one of the ones that shattered and Colourpop did replace it. So I'm trying so hard not to do anything that'll make these pop out again on camera and break, but still show you the palette somehow. But they are this is just like such a favorite palette. It is so beautiful. And it's a more pigmented lilac color than like what I have on my eyes. Same idea, but it is more pigmented, and it really comes out as like lavender purple. It is just so pretty, and this is like one of my favorite palettes of all anyway. I adore this palette. All right, now we're down to the top 2. Can y'all guess? Coming in at number 2, I just got this one also, and it is absolutely gonna be a holy grail, like standard palette for me. I have a feeling I'm gonna hit pan on this one, even though I own so many palettes. So I don't know when my little reel is going to come out, or short, if it's going to come out before this video or after, but I do have a little short comparing this to the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. It is very similar, and there are some shades in here I can wear that give you almost the exact same look as from hers. And I'm going to be honest with you, I liked this one better. I did. I liked how it looked on my eyes better. I liked the blend. The Natasha Denona one had almost a little powdery feeling in those shimmers, and this one was a little more buttery in the shimmers. Like, I was like, I can't believe I love this more than Natasha Denona, but I did. I love this palette. And obviously you see again, I think it's like, I must be just drawn to these kind of shades. I'm definitely like, I love like bronzies, and it's that shimmer right there is so pretty and popping. This is what I'm always drawn to, and it's neutrals and everyday, but they pop and are so pretty and sparkle. It's like champagne shimmers are just so my vibe. So this is going to be like, probably like, I'm going to be wearing this all the time. But coming in at number 1, I don't think anything can beat, even though it's not as wearable and I don't wear this every day, it's just such an amazing palette. I just love it. It is so, it's original, it's unique, and it brings out the Barbie in me. So that is coming in at number 1 of all, is the Barbie Malibu palette. And I need to pull it back out because I haven't even hardly reached for it this summer, and the summer's almost over, and I feel like summer is when I need to be wearing this. Oh my gosh, y'all, what is wrong with me? But I mean, look at this. Like, so the hot pinks and the shimmers and the pinks in there, but then you've also got some bronzes. I can wear the bright blues if I want to. I can pull off those oranges. Like, it has so many fun colors. I love the blend of it. It is Barbie for me. It is Malibu. It is beach season. It is amazing. It is so fun. Love, love, love this palette. And so, yes, this has come in as my number 1. But I gotta say, this Going Coconuts This is going to be my number one wearable. I don't want to say it's not, this isn't wearable, but like my everyday, you know. All right, guys, so that's it. That is all of my Colourpop ranked 20 palettes. I would love to know for my Colourpop folks, what's your number one? What's your least favorite? And favorite, what's your most worn palette? Well, let's talk about it. Did you agree with me? I'd love to hear all about it because I feel like, you know, Colourpop's one that's like so popular. So many people have a collection of Colourpop too. So it's a good one where we can all compare and share, you know, which ones we own and which ones are our favorites. So I'd love to hear, let me know, and make sure that if you love content like this, you love to see some eyeshadow palette rankings, some brand rankings, a little bit of everything in beauty, and beauty boxes and mystery boxes as well. You'll want to stick around here, pop that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.